Anyways, let's talk about motivation. And you literally see okay, there was no reason to misspell it, but you have seen someone take a stab at my channel and reduce my motivation to make videos. Or so he would think, I guess. Reduce motivation to make videos about him in particular. Because people don't usually issue strikes. We're like creative people, they don't want to fight each other. I really hope they don't, because that's the shadiest fucking thing ever. Because like, we already are rare enough to where people don't understand what we're doing and how a strike affects another person. When you see violence, you may or may not choose to understand it, and most people do. But this like artist creative level violence is also ridiculously painful. Hurting someone's motivation in general is something to talk about. And one of the biggest things that hurt to me is that money is not really motivating. Alright? Because, like, until you get access to actually making money and actually employing other people, money doesn't actually have any real value. Or unless you are American who has to pay an enormous amount of rent, then you have to fucking scramble to find money, and you're gonna be happy surviving, I guess. But, like, beyond the lowest of points, the middle ground is kind of like barren wasteland. Like, you're trying to get out of the survival state, which is very radical place. Alright, but the moment that happens, you're just like left questioning, does money motivate me at all to do anything? Should I get more money? Because obviously don't want to go back to the survival state again. But usually it's not about how much money you make, it's how much money you spend, first of all. What the gravity level of this is that brings you back to survival state. And then obviously you most of the time going to be optically disillusioned to look at rich people up there. And sometimes you'll get a glimpse, a sparkle where you might have a chance to become a rich person. You might have had a chance to generate millions upon millions. Right? And it's worth chasing that spark. But this whole structure's motivation through money. Right? And the moment if you draw the line of like, I just want to survive really badly, and the moment you start surviving, because that's where your line is, you feel empty. Like, you feel like money has done its purpose, and you don't need more. And everything else above you is just an immoral grandstanding, basically, because there's no like actual ability to climb. Capitalism is an unfinished system. By the way, I haven't decided if this is Capitalism Explained or a Lilac episode about healing. Because capitalism gets a head start when it comes to motivation. Everyone is motivated by money, and money's literally motivation hack. Right? I'm kind of like sending the same ideas to my teacher, like I'm generating, and I want to say something extremely smart to him that it helps, understand motivation better. And I do realize it backfires. Now I have to make a whole video about it because everyone needs to know. Right? My teacher wants to be a farmer on the side, and it's already shocking that you can motivate yourself to have 2 jobs. I wouldn't be able to motivate myself to have 1 job. I would rather motivate myself to have 0 jobs. To lie to the system so I can cash in. But I can't even do that. because I just want to be a human being. Say truthful things for the most part. If I'm respected, if I can have a conversation, if I can socialize, that's even better. Even better. It's just, when you become a spiritual person, when you become godlike, money doesn't even really matter. Like, it's there for all the operations, right? It's there, and it does block you from doing things, but you would be able to persuade most of low-level people to just pay for you. All right? Because you bringing enormous value, like you would be able to like negotiate on the spot as a godlike person, because you don't want to deal with people who are greedy, anyways, right? You don't want to deal with people who are broke, because they should be helped by someone else who is not broke. So, as a godlike person, you would not talk to broke people. You would talk to people who can help. And if I personally don't need money, maybe just give it to someone else, right? If you have never gave money to a broke person, maybe you want to do that. I don't want to do that. I was broke, and until I am out of that shithole, I ain't doing that. It's a side quest, but giving money is not the answer anyways, so I don't know if I would give it as an advice. But even though it's not an answer, it might make you happy. It might make you more aware. And that's, again, something I don't have to buy. I have the knowledge. I have too much knowledge. And people don't care about it. So I have to care about knowledge. Knowledge is my motivation, to be honest. And again, if you know my case, I am paranoid schizo. Yep, I'm scared of the world. I don't like leaving my room, because there's nothing that motivates me outside of my walls. Outside of my walls, it's not safe. Alright? If we draw the line on survival, yes, I want to survive. Alright? I don't want no fucking drama. If I go outside, very likely, there's just more drama than normality. There's more NPCs than, like, rare people. Why would I fucking bother? Right? Why do I bother risking spending too much time just wandering around and potentially getting myself in trouble for God knows what? God knows what, man. Maybe I will be motivated to get in trouble if I feel like it. If I feel like I can turn it around into something profitable, but right now, it is total fucking ass. So not only I don't have motivation to go outside, I increasingly have motivations to stay inside. Right? To just keep the introverted side of myself active and be scared of the world, because, again, it increasingly just withers away. Like, if I'm not motivated to go outside and there's no invitation to go outside, if that going outside is just a killed childhood, at some point, your childhood gets killed. There's no more friends to go outside with, and it's like, what the fuck do you do anymore? Right? And sometimes you just literally become a slave. Right? You're literally just working your ass off to survive and to provide to your family. Yay, no more childhood for you. Now you're protecting someone else's childhood before it gets fucking gobbled. Fascinating stuff. So in today's world, the topic of motivation, yeah, it's a dark topic. You can sort of turn your motivation into profits. If you're motivated, you might be able to find that extra job. But motivation is one of those things that you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how much of it you have. There's no real way to quantify it, right? Just because you have free time to do something doesn't mean that you're going to, like, take a plot of land and now you have to spread your work around your plot of land. Otherwise, you're just not going to make any profits. Right? There's technically a minimum requirement of how much work you need. And my teacher was, basically going through the whole story of, like, his berries are always under attack by something. So he has to work actually, like, extra. Of course, he would have less motivation, realizing that the work that he started is 10 times more difficult than he thought it's going to be. Right? When you are suddenly overwhelmed and your expectations are broken, that's when things are really devastating, right? You don't know until you start doing it. You don't know if you're going to be able to fucking withstand the job until you start doing it. But we have this notion that not everyone is capable of being employed, but everyone is capable of loving their job. God damn, what a notion. Called slavery. Alright? Now we all collectively want nice things as well. We're all collectively disconnected from each other, and we're not motivated by any social norms, to just, like, be nice. We're not motivated by relationships, to just have family, to just love each other. No. And we're not motivated by a system. System does not exist. You would think government is something that tells you what color shirt you have to wear, but it fucking tells you nothing. It just tells you to go to school or to go to jail, right? It just tells you when to do those things. Again, nothing in between. And so motivation is basically left for capitalism to generate. Everyone is motivated by money. Those who are not motivated by money are constantly reminded that you will be fined. You can get bailed with money, basically. You can solve almost every single problem with money. So this is where, like, the entire world's motivation lies, in capitalism. Like, this is insane. This is a fucking discovery that I've made. I'm like, it's fucking crazy, dude. Today, of course, we learned most of our motivations come from money. Definitively, right? Because, like, it always feels that way. It always feels like people are motivated by some bullshit thing. And it's like, yeah, it's money, but, like, why would it be just money? That's crazy. But they are crazy. These people are crazy. Their motivation is degenerate, basically. But it's trendy. So you gotta do what you gotta do. And it works. It's a hack. Money can buy you anything. You can translate money into anything, meaning that you're not really motivating yourself but to have money. You're motivating yourself to have things that you like. That's the fucking point. Right? It is not as shallow as money, because money can buy anything. So people are actually motivated by a lot of things. Or drugs. Or they just want to buy drugs, maybe. Still good motivation. But right now, they're motivating by rent. They're motivating to have 4 walls. I mean, this is the thing that I literally am burning inside with just, like, dread of what the fuck is going on, but at the same time, I remind myself, it's overpopulation. Overpopulation is happening. That's right. And of course, capitalism doesn't really help build the homes, it looks like. Just helps increase the prices. So yeah, not only we kill my childhood, but we still stick me to the same fucking place, which is kind of rotting to the core. Right? I don't like I can't replace my family. I cannot create new family. I'm just fucking stuck seeing everything rot to the core and not having like actually powerful motivations. Like if your path leads to money, are you gonna be motivated? Most of the time, if the path does not seem to lead to money, and holy shit, do you see the ultimate manipulation of the people, right? In fact, you can also decode why people are so silent. It is not just because they don't want the drama. It's not because they want to. They don't care to say anything. They just don't care about you because you're gonna take their time, and time is money. You know, time is such a precious resource. People learn, literally like hardcore learn how not to care. They study that every fucking day. They want to hack the system even more. You know, beyond being motivated by money, they're also wanting to hack the system, like find this ultimate multiplier of not giving a fuck. And unfortunately, this multiplier is also called Luigi. You will die from this, okay? At some point. Just like money can become greed, not caring is ultimate negligence. Alright? It's just pure evil. I mean, again, evil multiplies your power, but it shrinks your lifespan. It's the deal with the devil. All right, it's you selling your soul because you telling the devil that the last years of your life don't fucking matter as much as just winning this lottery ticket right now. Win me this lottery, boy. Win me that lottery, devil. All right, that's what you're doing when you deal with the devil. If you're motivated by evil, everything accelerates tenfold. You get tons and tons of money. Just steal a fucking car, you get tons of money, right? If you're motivated by money and you're evil, you get lots of money really fast. All right? You just have to sell your soul for it. And every single time, like we talk about like YouTube affairs, Mr. Beast, we have to literally just analyze, is this motherfucker evil? And unfortunately for you guys, we already bumped into like very evil video he uploaded about the grocery store. Yeah, it was gross. And now he's like, hey guys, eat the grocery food now. Ha ha ha. It's literally such a fucking bullying content, right? Of like, hey guys, if you want big pile of money, you'll have to eat shit, you know? You'll have to do something nasty. It's fucking, if you want to live, you'll have to play my game. That's right. This is basically the shadow of Mr. Beast. And what a wonderful motivating factor to try and stay alive. I absolutely have to play your game, Mr. Beast, if I want to stay alive. But again, it depends on where do you draw the line. If you draw the line of like you need to have general amount of wealth, then Mr. Beast has your ass. You know, you're gonna get fucking cooked. If you draw the line over here, then Mr. Beast cannot buy your soul anymore. He cannot fucking roleplay the devil anymore. He's just gonna be like, well, you're not motivated enough. You don't want to stay here for the money, so I guess you're gonna be easily eliminated. You know, like, he has thought about this whole fucking charade from every single fucking angle imaginable, which is why he's repeating it over and over again. It just gets a little bit more gross every single time he does it. It feels cheaper and more manipulative, more scripted, with evil intentions. So that's it. That's your boss. All right? And again, let me tell you something. Being Mr. Beast with you is not good. It doesn't pay you much, actually. It doesn't pay you. I really wonder, like, statistically, how much you get paid for being in a Mr. Beast video. What's the pay rate? Uh, should people be excited or not? Because there's this another motivating factor, which is, lies. Motivating factor of lies. You think you're gonna win lottery. You are motivating yourself by thinking about big sum of money of changing your life, but then you forget that you have to pay taxes on it, right? And all of a sudden that chunk of money gets cut in half, right? All of a sudden, big chunk of money gets smaller. Oh, now you have to deal with smaller chunk of money. You can't make your dreams come true that easily. Life changing. I don't know, man. I have plenty of technology. I have plenty of food. I didn't need much income to stay alive and happy. And we're talking about like pure income, right? We don't, what is it, like $300 profits, and you live a good life every month for two people. One of them is fat. You don't need much to have a sustainable life, but the system does not exist. Does not even exist. Like, people are begging, and what are they begging? They begging authorities to do something. They don't exist. You're talking to nobody. You're talking to each other and just panicking. They don't exist. If you want to pray, you just have to wait for things to, stop burning so fucking heavily, right? So you just have to relax. You're never going to get a better life. The best thing you can do is draw the line on survival and try to shrink your survival cost as much as possible. That's it. This is the only thing you can do that I've noticed. If you win something, nothing changes because you still have to survive. Your money is just going to be like, yay, I will survive. Only if it reaches the end of your lifespan. All right? If you're definitely not going to have any financial difficulties, and you have definitely access money, which is definitely impossible to have nowadays, then you can start thinking beyond the normie way of thinking, beyond the simple order of operations. You can fucking spend your money however you want. Right? Now, would you actually spend money to motivate yourself? Because that's the drugs level experience. Anything can be a drug, but like, it has to feel good, it has to cost money, but it also has to motivate you to earn said money or whatnot, or just to make you a better person. And I don't know what you spend money on that does that. I literally found 0 things that do that, which is literally like, if you wanted to fix capitalism, maybe let people spend money on things that actually make them better human beings. Like, what the fuck is going on? There is not a single thing besides some technological, like, enhancements to your life, right? You can technologically, or just, wherever you place your house matters, right? That's it. How do you spend money? How? I don't know. Like, at some point, I draw the line, and hypothetically, I literally can't draw it anywhere else. If I draw it here, I feel stupid. I feel like, well, but why would I spend money for anything? There's no reason to buy every single fucking game that I'm not gonna play. Like, I just... And the less I do, the more I enjoy things that I actually do. Right? If I do too much, they're just gonna make me worry. So spending money is actually not a good motivating factor. or earning money, a lot of money is not a good motivation. And it ends up like the best people can do is just like flex, I guess. That's also fucking ridiculous. You know, I would still worry about like people not actually liking me. That sounds pretty bad. You know, that's why Mr. Beast has to constantly say, but hey guys, I'm broke just like you. Yes. Yeah, so he can sleep at night. What a beautiful thing. So to fix capitalism is actually to allow people to spend something on like special events where people actually receive nice things, actually are able to flourish their relationships, right? I mean, it is one of those things, right? Like, just get that girl into a nice restaurant. You have to find her first. And there's too much chaos, too much danger. It's not worth trying to find someone in a pool of normies, basically. I don't know, man. I wish I could pay for that, but it looks like, you know, no one likes Tinder. No one likes... I would pay for it, though. If it worked. If it fucking functioned. I'll pay. No problem. You know? But no one's happy with what capitalism actually sells. Very often, it does in fact sell lies. Right? It does just try to deceive you, try to get the fucking easy cash grab of, you know, cutting their costs any way possible and delivering less and less features, basically. Talking about less features, literally now it's 100% confirmed. The video count disappeared. We no longer see the video amount. That's my pride possession of how many videos I uploaded versus subscribers. That number was higher than subscribers every single time. It's higher than subscribers. All right, should tell you something. All right, that I'm more hardworking than I'm appreciated. Cool. So now I have to dig and find that number somewhere else. Ha ha ha, so cool. These bastards. They think they're making good changes, but they're just capitalists. They're idiots. They're fucking idiots, man. Windows is a idiotic company now. Microsoft is Microsoft. Right? Like, it's crazy. They really don't fucking care in the end of the day. They're either gonna buy or sell lies eventually. And it's just, what? What for? Who's so fucking greedy to fall for it? You know, to fall for the sake of, you know, for the new. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with the new, because new is changing things. And we always have to calculate if the change is for the better. This new fucking thing is, you know, killing childhoods all over the place. Oh, just like do the new thing, this new sex thing. Do that. Do new drugs thing. That will help you, you know, be happy in life. Do new alcohol thing. Try this. Do new tattoo thing on your face. Try this, bro. Everyone dies from this new. Oh, so I'm literally like, am I paranoid, or do I just reject the new from my life? Which hits you like a ton of bricks and kills your childhood. In that particular moment of like, well, I won't be able to be a child. Because I'm hangover right now. So yeah, you can be motivated by lies until you realize that they are lies. And then you start getting scared that whatever you're buying into is a bunch of baloney. It's not actually as good as it's advertised. So there's like, you always want to test things before you buy, right? Test before you buy. This is literally the ultimate principle to live by. If if you have to pay upfront cost of $60 for a game, that game better be the most famous thing in a franchise that we already know about. This is why franchises work in the first place. It's not really because we don't care about anything else but Mr. Beast. We don't care about anything else but the most popular things. It's also because we're not even allowed to see it until we pay for the ticket. You know, the convenience is also expensive. Sometimes you pay for convenience. You want to know that the thing that you are engaging with is good, but to pay upfront cost for like a mysterious fucking entertainment value, I mean, I'm sorry, dude. That's fucked up. It's fucked up. I'm happy with like Disney Plus subscription. Subscription model is one of those like better ways to handle, jump into the pool of content behavior. All right, if you like the pool of content, like there's plenty of choices. You might not like this thing, but you're gonna like this thing. That's a way better approach than giving it the upfront cost. So, when I say this, it should motivate you to, first of all, declutter your life. Because before this subscription, I was a pirate. And now, I do have to, change my mind. Just, it feels like slightly above survival level is also quite a fine line, maybe even better, right? Because just above survival level, you buy kind of nothing. You're way too minimalistic of what you do, and you feel guilty about a lot of things that you want and the way you approach them. But a fine line just a little bit above is where you treat yourself, right? Just treat yourself sometimes a little bit, explore things, and live life, right? You need to just slightly bit higher line to earn just a little bit more to fucking waste your Sundays on snacks and the end of the days on movies, right? That's just conveniently there. I pay $10, not sponsor, but I am a Disney princess. I pay $10 and I just have access to things. All right, I might close that chapter. Again, it has to be flexible. You must be able to cancel your subscription. So again, you still have to double check. Ask AI, is it easy to cancel subscription or is it notoriously difficult and you have to avoid committing, basically. Now we have to basically do stress test on that one. Because it should be extremely easy. You just say no and subscription evaporates and you don't have to worry about it. But subscription is very complicated. You have to have access to your bank. You have to check your bank statements and all that just so nothing is bleeding from your bank account. That's the most fucking disgusting thing about subscriptions. But subscriptions do seem to solve one particular problem, is this upfront cost nightmare. And it's huge. The upfront cost for entertainment usually is insane. But if you just want access for a particular month, absolutely, subscription is much better. Just to see what it's about, and if you're gonna like it, you extend it one more month, or one more month at some point in time whenever you feel like it. So subscription is not a terrible idea as I framed it before. And the same advice Mr. Who's the Boss did, he talked about subscriptions too. So that's cool. All right? You gotta raise that line a little bit. You gotta allow yourself to get something nice. All right? If you can wait, that's fine. is gonna make it even nicer. If you can't wait, maybe that's also fine because you're already very excited, and it's time to test, what your money is capable of. Because the funny thing is, like, a lot of things in life are free. Subscription makes it feel like a lot of the stuff is free, right? So it just kind of keeps the charm of life going even under capitalism, where nothing is really free. Everyone is motivated by money, so like you have to constantly pay them to fucking unclog their ears and listen to you. Like literally, like people go to school and it's like they're so sad because they're not earning money for going to school. That's the fucking problem, People will be so motivated to get a good grade if a good grade actually paid $1. For every like perfect grade you get $1. Fuck yeah. Now people will be like, maybe I need that $1. Yeah, maybe I need that $1. Why is that not happening? That's another fucking part that has to be fixed about capitalism. If the greatest thing that's supposed to motivate people is money, just give them the money for doing a good job. For achieving something. Just give a little bit of fucking money. Who cares? You have to pay taxes on that. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I think one of the biggest screw-ups is America. America screws up capitalism. It takes advantage of capitalism, but it also screws it up for everyone else. It morphs it into fucking pile of trash, where everyone has to pay enormous amount of taxes, enormous amount of rent, have a struggle to find a fucking job. Everyone is rich around them. Some people earn money through the most ridiculous ways possible, like selling Legos or showing their feet pics, basically. And it's like you have to live in this fucking monkey world that America projects. You can only call it sociopathic capitalism. It's the same thing as like saying that, oh, well, trains are completely fine under my videos. They're not fine. All right. And Americans want to have trains, but somehow they have no ability to have trains. Right? If trains are so fucking good for capitalism, why don't you have it? They're not good. All right? They're just like very tough to maintain. And if Americans decide to be like, I don't care about welding, I don't care about learning all this like train stuff, and they can't have trains. As simple as that. Like, people have to have education. People have to build businesses around that particular thing. They're just not going to build it. Like, you think government has to build trains? Shut the fuck up, man. Literally, Elon Musk was trying to create some kind of train-like system, and guess what happened? Oh, he was a fucking sociopathic scammer. That's what happened. Americans live in such a distorted capitalism version where, like, I feel scared for my life when I listen to their stories. I feel scared of, like, I don't want to associate with Americans. They're broke. They have debts, They will realize how good we have it everywhere else in the world. I feel like Middle East world is so scared of America. They have to wage wars of like, no, we don't have free housing and free healthcare around here. Everything was bombed yesterday, okay, Americans? Stop it. Stop looking at my country, you bastards. I feel like that's exactly what's going on, instead of the other way around. We're like, oh, they're always hostile all the time. Oh, fucking weird, man. No, but of course, when money becomes motivating factor, there's a side effect of dehumanization. Unfortunately, you dehumanize people around you because they don't matter. They're definitely NPCs. Definitely. Even the idea of NPC, like, you still want them to help you in case you get in danger, right? You still don't want to be left completely isolated. You know, most of them are not going to help you, but maybe just a little bit. They do something nice. It's not about help. It's them doing something nice when something not nice is happening. It's a way to avoid drama. So dehumanization does not help. The funny thing is, sometimes haters are a motivating factor for me because, again, some of the levels of dehumanization is just so not acceptable, right? Oh, I want to be an influencer too. Why do I have haters already? Like, what have I done? Like, let's keep the cancel culture where it is, okay? Just don't try to cancel me before I even tie my fucking shoes. And the most important thing is, like, people are so judgmental, but they're stupid as well. Like, why be cynical, judgmental, dehumanize everything, but you don't even know if you're right or wrong? Under capitalism, there's a growing feeling of isolation. Isolation can, again, dehumanize people and make them antisocial. So when they fucking crawl into YouTube, into comment sections, they want to preserve their egos. They don't want to lower themselves. They want to feel on top of the world. They want to feel narcissistic. And this, again, sociopathic capitalism, it also bred a lot of haters exclusively in America. Exclusively. It's a perfect place for the most toxic piles of shit that ever existed. I mean, we will write into history books of the most toxic Americans we have been able to, like, produce. The biggest giant zombies, basically. Giant zombie mutants that also have missiles on their back, basically. We will literally talk about America like it was a fucking Fallout game. Of, like, what kind of mutants they have been able to reproduce. That's how bad it is. Alright? No other country has that shit. I swear to God. It's such a weird place. And again, sometimes it's a motivating factor to figure out what the fuck is going on, right? But, yeah, under sociopathic capitalism, everyone's ego is inflated. They don't even know what the fuck they're doing. They're just, like, trying to survive without lowering their ego. So they're like the best person inside a room of 10,000 people. But they're the best. And everyone is the best. And Donald Trump is the bestest of the best. Oh my God, that guy is so good. And he turned out to be a fucking degenerate. Right? Literally fighting against every single critic. You know, like the sociopath that he is. This is how you know. When people actually are either unable to respond to criticism or just actually fight criticism directly, basically, instead of just, like, letting it slide. Or just, like, accepting it for what it is. It's criticism. It is what it is. If they can't do neither of those things, if they can't open their mouths to accept criticism, like, just very direct thing you have to do. I don't think that there's the other options are too extreme. That one is in the middle, right? Criticism hits your forehead, you either completely dismiss it, or you are completely retaliating, right? Hearing and accepting criticism is in the middle. Acceptance. Of, like, yes, I can do better. You should be able to always accept that you can do better. Because you can always do better. Right? No matter how old you are, you can always do better. There's no conditions under which you cannot do better. It's best to listen to criticism as long as it's valid. Right? I think Trump is way too high to kind of lash out at critics like that. But I kind of like doing the same thing I kind of do like lashing out at haters, but like they're genuinely stupid. I explain the entire case. It takes a long time to retaliate to criticism. You cannot just do it in one tweet and call everyone stupid, basically. It's not gonna make a good point at all. So Trump tried to fucking, retaliate. Surely it worked for him. And at the start of the video, you saw retaliation against my criticism, which, I have to double down because criticism is not meant to be shut down. It is meant to be respected, even if it's disrespectful. Even if it's disrespectful. But it's very difficult to breach the level where it is actually disrespectful. Because most of the time, if you acknowledge what criticism is, it has to be structured in a very specific way. It also can, fall into two extreme categories of attack or say nothing, leave out crucial context. Is the same two sides. Everything must fall into balance. And people try, again, sociopathically to click these buttons and see if they can get away with something. Because their feelings told them to be motivated to take a piss, right? Everyone's taking a piss. Everyone's motivated to get triggered. America is the giant sociopathic police of the internet. That's how you have to see it. Because at some point, the level of haters cannot be called haters anymore. They're not individually attacking you. They're mobbing you, basically. They're fucking mobbing like a fucking SWAT team, basically. That's what they are learning. That's how they operate. They simulate that fucking version in their heads of like, we have to SWAT this piece of shit, because we don't like him collectively. The sociopathy doesn't stop, with just simple things. It escalates things so fucking fast. It gets so insane. And deadly, basically. And it's all because we allow these sociopaths to have power in the first place. It shouldn't be that way. Capitalism should be fixed. Where people are not motivated to be assholes. How about that? Right? It feels like capitalism can be fixed with just a few nudges, a few little fucking patches, but no one fucking cares. And guess what? Again, if people don't care, that's my greatest motivation. If people don't care, I am very motivated to do something all by myself. I will fight those noisy neighbors. I will report them as best as I can to as many people as I fucking can find. And the search for those people who actually care, is going to be a tremendous occasion. It's just a journey to the edge of the world to find people who still care because they're probably just as scared as I am. To give a fuck about the world that is, burning. We're all mixing like evil and good all in one fucking pot. And it's very difficult to like take it out, to sort it anymore. Because evil just needs a little bit of money to survive, and evil does evil things to get the money, and it just basically kind of covers its ass automatically. But this is sort of why it's also very dehumanizing, because it's very difficult to like know, should you help that person, or did they got the justice of capitalism? Did they run out of money because they spent money on stupid shit? Right? This is why in the kindness content you see people offering either Apple or a bottle of booze. What are you going to pick? If you pick Apple, we're going to give you some more stuff, all right? That's actually nice. Because you never know, man. Like in the bottom of capitalism, there kind of has to be a lot of fucking assholes who don't even deserve to live, right? Who do deserve to suffer. And capitalism sorts them out just based on like how they wasted their money, right? So you can sort of like come up to a person and ask where they're going to spend their money, how did they lost all the money, how much money do they need on what? Like, you have to be able to have this conversation with a homeless person if you want to help them. If you feel bad for them, then you can give the money. Not just randomly toss money around. You have to get something in return. Every single person has to be employed no matter what the fuck they're doing. All right? If you want entertainment, if you want a story from a homeless person, that's great. Then you can pay. You can't just toss, oh, here's random dog, let's give him bone. What if that dog has rabies? What if he's spreading diseases? All right, you have to fucking mentally prepare to sort people out, because like you don't want to be friends with every single person. All right, people, it's a natural thing to sort things out. And capitalism, again, it shows you a sign that something is going horribly wrong. And that's why, again, we dehumanize homeless people. We kind of dehumanize them, unfortunately. It is what it is. That does not mean that you cannot be a hero and sort things out based on, your moral compass. You have to put it down. That's what capitalism allows. It allows anything to happen. There's a lot of resources laying around. There's a lot of trash. Anything can happen. You can invent anything because people don't really put 100% of their attention to anything in particular. Everything is like halfway broken. All right, so if you actually want something really badly, it's very likely you will be an original creator of that thing. And that should be your motivation. You will be the original creator just by doing your thing, baby. That's it. Under capitalism, there's no chance that the thing you want actually exists. There's no chance that like every single thing you're gonna want and you're capable of, like, you see a problem and you want to fix it, there's no chance that capitalism has like a very incredibly convenient solution for that problem. At some point you will bump into something like a so-called $1 million idea, right? I want to kill polygons, please send help. It's $1 million. I want to kill it. I can do it. We can all do it. But we have to work together to fucking do it. I have a feeling not even fast food motivates people anymore. It's so expensive. It used to be a motivation because it was so fucking cool and convenient, but now it's just a robbery. It's just a scam. Everything under sociopathic capitalism turned into a scam eventually, because people liked it. And they thought it's going to be enough of like, well, I like it, just give me. I like it though. Give me. Wah. I like it, please. We should have more, and it's supposed to be cheaper. And it literally goes the other way around because they don't care about you. Okay? They're not here to cut cost. If you like it, that's good. Buy more. For more expensive. Yes. If you actually need something, that the need cost doesn't go up as fast. All right, because the baseline is very low, and they don't bother trying to manipulate with like flashy packaging. That's technically tied to motivation of like motivate people to buy something through branding. There's a lot of like manipulation gunk when it comes to motivating people to do something. A lot of gunk. You have to see through the lies. Because that technically that's the second best thing they can employ. The main best thing is to just, again, brand. Brand is not a lie. It's just it's a thing. You either trust the brand or not. But they can rug pull the shit out of you. You know, they can cook you like a frog. Brands are not just forever the same way. They might actually, instead of saying, don't be evil, you know, decide to start being evil now. It's Google's time to start being evil, right? This is a very good principle. It's very simple. It's very, very readable as well. And very correct. That's what the word evil represents. This word evil represents all the things that you're not supposed to fucking do. Right? But at some point, corporations, they fucking flip the script. In the end of the day, like, you open these, like, mobile games, and it's like, even though the games are free, they don't feel free. They feel like ads. They feel like they have diseases in them. So you subscribe or you pay for things to just get rid of this fucking disease that every single item has. Like if every burger was free, they would have advertisement inside the burger. So you have to take it out before you eat it. That's the only way a burger would be free. You know, you have to be literally attacked, bombarded with something. So what you have learned is that it's impossible to capitalize on just wishing good things to happen. It's impossible. This is why you don't have, again, under sociopathic capitalism, you do not have free healthcare. If you can capitalize on something, the sociopath will do it. That's all they're gonna think about, of like how much money they can get from you, how much they can screw you over with every single trade. How can it make it fair? How can they sell their entire trust? If you trust a person, how can they fucking take advantage of that? They will constantly think that way, dude. I had to deal with that fucking person face to face. But America is literally an entire country built on that premise. When it comes to motivation, the actual thing that we should have been talking about, it's a science. You have to know a lot about it. You have to ask a lot of questions to boost your productivity. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's like throwing pieces of this science left and right. And it's a science. It's supposed to be its own body of science. And there should be scientists analyzing motivation deeply and turning into just like big subjects. But it doesn't exist. That's also $1 million idea. You know, just acknowledging that this does not exist is a big problem, and it potentially can be solved, right, if you pursue it. Motivation is something that will get you out of your bed, get you out of depression, get you out of debt. It's a deeply liberating process to feel motivated to do something. It's a scarce resource. Because one day you're going to be like, no, I had done too much. One day you will feel all the damage pile up, and you buy this like new thing, and you don't want to do anything. Like, you know, just like the joke after marriage, every single man turns into a pig. You know, it's a magical spell. Marriage. Yoink, oink, oink. The man becomes a pig. He finally made it. He finally did the new thing. And motivation disappeared because he achieved his goal. You definitely want to set up goals so you don't drain your motivation too fast. All right? You have to have that carrot on the stick dangling just kind of long enough to get in the flow state, right? To me, technically, the motivation is like, even if I fail to squeeze myself harder, I can still make a YouTube video crying about it, I guess. No, I can still make a productive YouTube video where I will be proud for the rest of my life that I fucking did it, that I talked about something that was important, and I improved myself while doing it. Thank you guys for watching.